Hola, muy buenos días. Muchas gracias por asistir a esta clase de nivel B1. Hoy tenemos un solo estudiante, la señora Rosa. Vamos a hablar hoy del tema de un dictador, la caída de un dictador del país en África que se llama el Sudán. Ya, empezamos. Vamos a empezar con ese video. Me permito un segundito para abrirla.
Era in Sudan, one of the world's longest-serving heads of state, whose brutal rule over the country lasted for 30 years, was toppled after months of anti-government protests.
Turning now to big breaking news out of Sudan this morning.
State media have said the country's armed forces will be making, quote, an important announcement.
This out of Sudan. After 30 years in power, President Omar al-Bashir has been forced out of power by the country's military.
But the end of Omar Hassan al-Bashir's rule by a military coup wasn't enough to satisfy Sudanese protesters. Now, they're calling for the end of the entire regime that he built and that kept him in power for so long. To understand how this all unfolded, let's go back to December 19th, 2018. Hundreds of demonstrators took to the streets of the northeastern city of Atbara and other cities across Sudan. They protested the country's economic decline under al-Bashir. Inflation had recently skyrocketed to nearly 70%. And the price of food had risen dramatically as well. Take bread prices. They rose 3 times the normal rate, making the staple increasingly unaffordable. That's why these protests were initially dubbed the bread riots. But while the price of bread might have been the initial catalyst for some of the unrest, some experts point out that it wasn't the only reason. The protests were largely a result of the broader dissatisfaction with the 75-year-old president's brutal rule. A rule that is older than the majority of the country's population.
Okay, I hope you enjoyed the video. Now we will be speaking 100%, if possible, in English. So to get the conversation started, I'm going to ask you some questions. All the questions will be from this sheet that you're seeing. So Rosalina, have you ever lived in a country that was ruled by a dictator?
No, I never live in the countries with dictator.
Okay.
I should like.
You should like?
They should like.
I don't understand. What do you mean
O sea,
should?
no me gustaría.
Oh, you would not like. I would not like.
I will not like.
Right, okay. So
Okay.
you might want to study in the future the difference between should and would.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Right, very good. And then I have never. Okay? You said,
I have.
yeah, you said I never. All right. Do you know of other countries that have had or currently have a dictator?
Yes, I know Venezuela and North Korea.
Oh, what do you know about Venezuela?
Venezuela is neighborhood of Colombia. Neighborhood Colombia. And they have approximately 20 years dictator.
Hey, let's talk real fast about the difference between dictator in English and dictador in Spanish. Okay, they're very, very similar. Yes. But in English, you have two T's. Dictator.
Dictator.
And in Spanish, it's one T and one D. Dictador.
Dictator in English.
Excellent. Very good. All right. Do you support citizens who try to overthrow a dictator?
I support the citizens. Would you like would you like their dictator?
Okay, let me try to say that in a way that's a little bit more natural in English. So I would support citizens who try to overthrow their dictator.
Okay.
So we are running out of time. We are running out of time. So I am just going to list some of these vocabulary words for you. So dictator, you know what a dictator is. Dictador. Overthrow means kind of like to take out of office, to in Spanish maybe derrotar would be the word. Protest is very much like in Spanish, protestar.
Excuse me.
Yes.
Excuse me. Overthrow is living.
Leaving?
Or living or
it means that somebody comes in and with violence takes out a government, breaks them down.
Okay.
Right? To topple.
Tumbarlo, caer.
Tumbar, very good word, right. Okay. To topple.
Overthrow.
To topple is very similar. It's to make something fall over, o tumbar in Spanish. Okay. A coup in Spanish is golpe de estado. Okay.
Coup.
Notice that P is silent. Okay. Very good. That's all we have time for today, for today's lesson. Thank you very much for attending the class. You did an excellent job today. Your pronunciation was very good, but there's some words that you should work on. When I prepare the summary, I will note what those words are. Okay?
Okay.
Thank you very much, and I look forward to seeing you at the next class.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.